Hey everybody, welcome to episode 11 of Spirit Hub's virtual happy hour. We've got a rather good one today. We're going down a little bit south. We're going to Memphis, Tennessee. We've got Drew here from Old Dominick Distillery in Memphis. Drew, you want to say what's up?
Hey everybody, I'm Drew Wooten. I run the bar program here at Old Dominick Distillery. So make all the cocktails and everything here at the bar, and happy to be a part of this.
Perfect, thanks Drew. So welcome everybody, people that have been with us before, welcome back. The ones that are new, welcome to our awesome show. Ultimately, we're Spirit Hub. We're an e-commerce platform that represents independently owned craft distilleries across the United States. At this time, we have over 200 distilleries with 1,300 spirits on our platform. We are strictly only in the state of Illinois for delivery. We've got some really nice stuff, so don't forget to check us out on spirithub.com. This virtual happy hour is meant for us to get to know the people behind the brand. We've got Drew here, who does a lot of their hospitality and bar stuff. So these are kind of the people that you may not get to meet just yet until we get out of this quarantine. But definitely gives you some good background information on who these people are and what the distilleries do. So with that, Drew, you can kick it off.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. So our distillery has been open to the public since 2017. Originally, we have been around a lot longer than that. Our founder, Dominick Canale, moved to America in 1859 and then started his own grocery distribution business in 1866. And back then, a lot of people, if they sold food, they also sold some whiskey, and he had the Old Dominick brand of whiskey that he sold. And sold quite a bit of it. And, we still have there's a lot of price lists and advertisements and things that are, date back to that time period. Then in the 1880s, he came up with the Toddy, which is this bottle here. Now, the Toddy is a whiskey-based cordial. Now it's got some spice to it. It's got some citrus. There's some cinnamon, clove, a little bit of black pepper as well. And it's lightly sweetened, but it's absolutely delicious. So he used that as a way to get, use up some of the fruits, because he had fruit carts, and it gets really hot here in Memphis, if y'all didn't know that. And so there was a way to keep it from spoiling. You put it in the whiskey and make a cordial out of it. And they sold it all over town. And when they decided to open the distillery back up, as after Prohibition, Prohibition really killed the brand. So they never sold whiskey again. And then after Prohibition ended, they became the sole distributor for Anheuser-Busch in West Tennessee. And they did that until 2010 and sold that. And then they decided they wanted to open a distillery. They were trying to think of something to set them apart. And they ran across an old bottle of the original Toddy in a warehouse that they owned in a basement. And, right away they tasted it, and it was awful. It was 100-year-old fruit whiskey. It didn't really hold up, but they were able to get it reverse engineered and come up with the recipe we sell today. So it's just a fascinating, story about that. But we also make, we're primarily a whiskey distillery. We have a lot of it aging now. We currently sell the high-rye bourbon, the Huling Station. Huling Station was the name of our first warehouse back in the 1800s, and it's just a street or two away from where the distillery is now. But we also make two vodkas. We make our straight vodka, which is the same mash bill as our whiskey, and that's the Memphis vodka. So it's mainly corn-based, like the whiskey. But we also make the Honeybell vodka. Now, the Honeybell is a cross-pollination of a grapefruit and a tangerine, only in season for 1 month a year. And we flavor it with that, not sweetened, just the essence of the skins, the oils and everything. So it's not sweet, but it's a little fruity, and I get more grapefruit. Some people get more of the tangerine, but it's absolutely delicious, I think. And then we make our gin. The gin has 8 botanicals in it. It's got juniper, of course, or it wouldn't be called a gin. There's also some cardamom, some angelica root, some licorice root, grapefruit peel, a little bit of chamomile, orris root, and ginger root. I believe I got them all. But, primarily juniper forward, very floral, and just a fantastic gin, I think. And I like all the products. But it's a really different gin. It's, kind of our own style. it's fantastic. And that's the products we sell. So do we taste now?
We definitely want to taste them. So so while we're kind of tasting through this, for everyone watching, if you do have questions, feel free to put them in the chat on Facebook Live. We'd be happy to answer anything you have. You know, Drew's got very informative. We're going to be, you know, he's going to be really talking and tasting the brand new gin that got newly added to our website on spirithub.com. So definitely get that. I've got my gin shirt on. But he's also going to go in and taste the Huling Station bourbon as well. So Drew, you can, whatever one you want to go with first, go get it.
Yeah, I'll go with the gin.
And the gin is new, correct? That's something.
It is, yes. It's been out for a couple of months now. Okay. We really, right before things locked down, we released it. So the timing wasn't the best timing, but how would we know? But yeah, it's our late February, early March, I believe, was the unofficial release date. Now, when I taste spirits, I always get, you know, you want to smell it. Of course, I'm telling you all this, you know, just drink it how you like it is the most important thing. It's, you know, just as long as you're drinking it. But, you know, you smell it. I get just really floral, herbal flavors like any gin, but, you know, the juniper hits you right away. And I get a little spice. And I like to take a tiny sip just to kind of get my mouth kind of warmed up, if you will, to the alcohol. Because the first sip, you don't really taste it as much. But it gets you ready for the next sip. And a lot of really very, it's citrusy, it's floral, it's really nice. And then your second sip, I like to swish it around a little bit, different parts of your tongue, recognize different flavors. So you really get a good, and you can also, when I taste spirits, I like to add a little water. So you can either do a fancy dropper or just get a straw. And I do that especially with whiskey, but I like doing it with other ones as well. But it really opens it up, just a tiny little bit of water. And if you want more, you know, add more. If you want ice, you know. Oh, that's fantastic. I don't know if I'm supposed to finish it. I really want to, so I think I probably will.
Take it all. You still have to make. You're gonna make us 2 cocktails too, so you can
yeah,
play our as well.
It wasn't a big shot.
No, I'm kidding.
Any questions about the gin?
I've got nothing for me. I mean, other than like the style. You know, a lot of people are really into. People aren't into styles of gin. You called it kind of your own style. I don't know if it falls in a certain category or not.
You know, we like to call it Southern. You know, but more of a London dry style than anything. So it's not going to have the you know, sweetness of an Old Tom. It's not doesn't get any barrel aging like that. So I think it's London dry would be the most you know, Southern London dry. Or I don't know about Southern London. I don't know a lot about that. But
yeah, we'll
United
put that.
States.
We'll put that on spirithub.com. Don't worry.
Perfect.
You want to move over? This is so Drew, you're going to talk about it, but I've got this at home. It's a personal favorite of mine too. I'm not going to taste it because I'd really drink any of it, but you can. You're the expert. You can go deeper into that.
Yeah, this is so it's a very high rye content for bourbon at about 44% rye. So what I like about it is that, you know, it's rich. I love a lot of rye. It really makes it great for mixing, great on its own, but the rye really makes it spicier, you know. But I get on the nose, you know, right away. I can really pick up on that spice from the rye. I also get a little bit of stone fruit and some, you know, the alcohol. It is 100 proof, so it's a big whiskey, which makes it really nice. You know, I get some vanilla as well when I smell it. But, you know, the 100 proof really makes it stand up in a cocktail. That's what I like about it. Or on its own, you know. And I'm doing the same thing I did with the gin, kind of getting my mouth ready. And I really, you know, get a lot of caramel on the palate, you know, and even some tobacco and a little dark chocolate. as well. But the predominant thing, like I keep saying, is the spice, which I love. Yeah, that's delicious.
Perfect.
I'm a little biased, but yes.
Of course. What do you know? How long is that bourbon aged?
So this is a 5-year-old bourbon. Yes, sir.
Perfect. When we get done with tasting, I did have a question, but it's not related to the bourbon, if you're ready. So we had Emily ask. Yeah, well, you can answer it all. But Emily asked, because she's very interested in that honey bell vodka, which is definitely a unique flavor. She asks if you know, do you plan on making more spirits that have these types of unique fruits?
You know, I am not aware of that at this time, but that wouldn't be I probably wouldn't be consulted on that necessarily.
Okay.
But you know, the vodka, the cordial is flavored, you know, fairly uniquely as well, but it's more spice. But I don't know that we're going to do more honey bell flavored things. Now we do a whole R&D line that we have available here at the distillery, you know, where we try things like that. So if something really took off and did really well, you know, here at the distillery, like we're currently doing a bourbon that's aged in a formerly used beer barrel, and they used our barrel to make their beer in. So, you know, if something really does well that we play with our R&D thing, then we might release it, but that wouldn't be a question that I would know enough about. I guess that's a bad answer, but
that's okay. They can just wait until we get it on spirithub.com, and that'll be your answer.
Y'all would be the first to know.
There you go.
Maybe even before me.
Yeah, right. But thank you, Drew. Thank you for, you know, the background story, the getting really deep into the spirits. But we're gonna make some really awesome cocktails in just a second. So welcome to everyone that's joining us, possibly mid-show. We're on episode 11 here. We're with Old Dominick Distillery and Drew from Memphis, Tennessee. He's got some pretty easy, decently easy recipes that he's going to make using his gin and bourbon. Again, if you guys have questions about this or anything, please feel free to put in our Facebook live chat for either myself or Drew. Would be happy to answer those questions. But Drew, whichever one we want to start off with, go for it.
Yeah, I'll do the Grapefruit Gin Fizz first. Really just a little slight variation on a gin and tonic, you know, which is just a category of a highball. You know, I'm of the philosophy, there aren't really new drinks. They're just riffs on old drinks. You know, people have been drinking gin and tonic for, you know, a couple of 100 years. Tonic was a way to help fight scurvy, among other things, malaria, I should say. And then people put lime in it to help with the scurvy. But it was interesting. That was on ships, you know, back in the old days. But this is just, yeah, that's how tonic came about. And this is just a variation on that. So I'm going to use 1.5 ounces of the gin. And you know, at home, if you don't want to measure everything, you don't necessarily have to. I do it here at the bar so that, you know, the other bartenders make it taste exactly like I do. So I'm really big on the recipes. 1/2 ounce of lime juice and 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. And we're going to add 1 ounce of grapefruit juice. I love grapefruit juice, so you'll see grapefruit in both of these cocktails. And we're going to shake that. Shaking, you know, gets it cold, but it also dilutes it a little bit. People don't think of the water is another ingredient in the drink, so that's just as much reason to shake it as anything. Now I'm going to use, probably don't have these at home, but I'm going to use this fancy ice cube that we do here at the distillery. And I'm going to double strain it. Just another thing you don't necessarily have to do at home, but it gets the pulp out of the citrus. Just makes it a little smoother. Drain all that in there, don't want to waste any. And I'm going to top it with a touch of tonic. I'm using a Q brand mixer's tonic, which is one of my favorites. But you know, for tonic, ginger beer, ginger ale, any mixer, you know, you ought to use something good, something that you like, because that, you know, is going to really make a lot of the cocktail is going to taste like what you mix it with. And I'll garnish it with just a nice little treat grapefruit wedge. And that is, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to, but I'm going to taste it, make sure I did a good job.
Yeah, make sure you try it for everybody so we know you made a good cocktail.
Yeah, that is delicious. Very refreshing. You know, if you don't like grapefruit, you could use a different fruit, but I happen to love grapefruit, so that's, and the little fancy ice cubes, not necessary, just, it's a nice touch.
No, it seems super refreshing. It seems super easy to make.
Yeah.
Some people may not have. I believe you probably use fresh grapefruit juice in there. I'm sure buying grapefruit juice might be okay too. Whatever makes you happy, right? Yeah,
and you know, the better the grapefruit juice, if you don't want to squeeze it, I'd stay away from the canned stuff, but if that's all you have, you know, fine. But something you enjoy drinking, you know, is gonna make it that much better, I believe.
Perfect.
So now we're gonna do the grapefruit smash. I'm gonna do a couple of things here. I'm gonna crush some ice, which isn't absolutely necessary, but it does make it better. If you've got a, you know, I'm going to use this fancy ice hammer that I'll pull out here in a minute. This is just a linen napkin. They make bags. It's called a Lewis bag, but I've always found a towel or a napkin works just as well. And this is a hammer I was talking about. So I'm just going to smash this up. At home, you could use a can. You could use a wine bottle. Be careful not to break it. But all you're doing is smash the ice. If you have a Snoopy snow cone machine, it does a fantastic job. It doesn't have to be Snoopy. That's just one of my favorites. But yeah, snow cone machine, anything like that. So we're going to do the grapefruit smash now. And you know, the same was with this other one. If you didn't want to shake it, you don't have a shaker at home, you could build it all in the glass. Give it a stir, you know, to kind of let some of the ice melt a little bit and dilute it just a touch. But this is one I'm going to do in the tin, and I've got probably anywhere from 5 to 8 mint leaves. That kind of depends on, you know, how good the mint is that you have. But I'm going to add several leaves. I'm going to add a slice of grapefruit again, and I'm going to muddle this up. You're wanting to get the oils out of the grapefruit peel as well as the juice. Using the mint just enough to kind of flavor everything. You don't have to really go overboard. Then I'm going to add 2 ounces of the Huling Station bourbon. Now, smash is just a variation of a julep, and the julep has been around. It was in a cocktail book in 1862. And it's been around at least since then. And then the smash appeared in print, the first to my knowledge, in 1888. Now, this is going to be an ounce of lemon juice. And again, I'm measuring everything just so it tastes the same every time. If you like it a little sweeter, you know, cut back on the lemon. I'm going to add 3/4 ounce of simple syrup. Now, this is a rich simple syrup, which you'll hear bartenders argue about whether they'll call it 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. This is 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. And it's technically done by weight, but I've gathered that it's about 20 ounces of sugar, white sugar by volume, and about 12 ounces of hot water. You just want to be able to dissolve it. And the reason I like a rich simple syrup, it's a little sweeter, you use a little less of it, you're adding a little less water to the drink. So I'm going to shake this again. And I'm going to put some of that crushed ice I got to smash up in here. And I'm going to double strain it once more. And this is another just super refreshing, good summer drink. And you know, I was talking about juleps. Juleps really came into existence when people started being able to get ice. You know, for a while, it was only the very wealthy would have the facilities to keep ice. They didn't have refrigeration. But once ice started becoming popular, juleps were the big drinks, and it wasn't always a mint julep. It was just whatever fruits they had, and they do it over crushed ice. And that also led to the invention of the straw, because people in the mid 1800s, the dentistry wasn't what it is today. So when they would drink it, it hurt their teeth. So they invented the straw to be able to keep the ice off of people's teeth, and it took hold after that. But the julep is the one way. And I'm going to just garnish it with some mint leaves and a little straw. So I do a little better with the mint. There we are. And that is the Grapefruit Smash. And one reason, and at home, you could build that in the glass if you wanted to. The reason I double strain anything with mint, if it's shaken up like that, if you don't double strain it, your guest or whoever you're serving it to or yourself is going to end up with little specks of mint in your teeth. And, I try to avoid that at the bar, although it would be kind of entertaining.
Not for a date night, though.
No.
But no, thank you for that. It both seem very refreshing. I would, before I start getting the questions, we don't sell the hammer on spirithub.com. I don't know if Old Dominick Distillery sells that hammer anywhere. But thank you for showing us the crushed ice method. I did want to ask you, you made us two really awesome cocktails. Do you have a personal favorite of yours?
I love a good old fashioned, and that's another thing a lot of bartenders have opinions on, and we like to talk about our opinions a lot. But in my mind, an old fashioned should be simple. You're not making a fruit salad, so I don't muddle any of the cherry and orange. It's simply 2 ounces of whiskey, a ½ ounce of either simple syrup, or I use a Demerara sugar syrup, and then some bitters. And I build it in the glass over a big ice cube. I put about a ½ ounce of water in it, and Angostura bitters, and I make my own orange bitters here, but that's not necessary. And I garnish it with a really good, cherry and a swath of the peel of an orange. And you squeeze the orange peel over it, all the oils come out. But it's fantastic. It's just a slightly sweetened whiskey, with a touch of bitter. It's fantastic, and it's a good, simple, easy to make, and so that would have to be my favorite. And we sell, being a whiskey distillery, that's our #1 seller, by a long shot. So.
Perfect. Very, very classic. You seem like a very classic person, Drew.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of a Negroni as well. Speaking of another gin. So. That's
perfect. I did have, I had someone ask another question. You've got 5 spirits in front of you. Do you have a personal favorite?
Depends on my mood. Probably the gin, and I might say the Huling Station in the winter, but I'm not as used to the gin because it's a little newer too, but yeah, it would be the gin for me. Although the Honey Bell is fantastic, and I've never, bartenders, we can get a little pretentious if you let us. And I've always not really been a huge fan of flavored vodkas, but I love this. It's not sweet at all. It's such a unique flavor. It's just a really different product. And but it's weird for me to be saying that, because I've had people that would sell me liquor in the past, that would pull it out, the salespeople, flavored vodka, and I'd say, no, just put that back in your bag. I don't want to. But yeah, this is fantastic. So, and it's good with just soda, or you can make the very same drink that I made with the gin with the Honey Bell, or the straight vodka if you prefer. But that's fantastic. And as hot as it gets here, I'll probably go to a few more lighter spirits, in the summer. Although this is very refreshing, the Grapefruit Smash. I'm going to keep
Got it.
By the way.
And I'll keep going for it. I had one question. I think I missed this maybe from earlier, but we've had some questions about the bird, on the bottles and all that.
So Domenico Canale was our founder, and we are currently, I left a big part out of the story, his great-great-grandsons, Chris and Alex Canale, are the current owners. Well, his name being Domenico, back in the 1800s, people were a lot more conscious of the people had chickens and roosters at home. They would cook them, they'd use them for eggs. whatever. But the Dominick or Rooster was a fairly well-known breed of rooster. And that is a Dominick or Rooster. And we call it Nico. We actually sell a stuffed rooster here at the distillery that sells surprisingly well. It's, just a big stuffed rooster that looks like that. And I might be able to show you a picture. I probably shouldn't move the camera, but I'm going to see if you can see that picture right there. That is Dominico. Can you see the guy holding the rooster?
Yeah, it looks, yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, well, that's Dominico. That's the founder. And they had that painting done when they opened the distillery here. So it's just a mascot. They had an old ad for the toddy that had two roosters fighting over a bottle. But yeah, that dates back to I don't know when they adopted the rooster, but at the latest in the 1880s. So yeah, it's a big part. It's on our logo. It's on. I don't think it's not on the Huling bottle, but it's prominently on the toddy bottle label as well. So.
Well,
yeah,
thanks for going deeper into the rooster, giving us a sneak peek into a distillery tour, because the distillery looks awesome. We can get to that hopefully on a different episode. But I don't have anything else for you. I appreciate you guys getting on with us. I know we're taking a little bit of time out of your day, but I think this is you guys have a great brand. I think your spirits are awesome. Obviously, all 5 spirits are on spirithub.com. So I'd like to thank you, Drew, everyone that was associated with, everybody that was able to join us for this. But if you really like Old Dominick stuff, we have a special promotion that should be in the Facebook Live. If you use promo code HAPPY11, that's HAPPY 11, you'll get 10% off plus free shipping now until midnight on Sunday. Again, I really appreciate it. Drew, do you have anything?
I don't. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. It was a lot of fun, and any excuse to make and drink a couple of cocktails, I guess, is a good thing. So yeah, it's an absolute pleasure.
It's awesome. I learn a lot from you guys, and I appreciate that. And I also I'm starting a little cocktail book for myself, so that's really good too. And for the people that are watching too, these cocktails are on the Facebook Live feed, and they are on our website. So don't feel free like you had to make it at this time. This is always available for you. So visit us on spirithub.com. Definitely go visit Old Dominick Distillery when this all goes down, but definitely check out their website as well for more information on the product. Drew, I appreciate it. To everyone watching, have a good night, stay safe, and be well.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate it.